What is going on, guys? Today we have got another player review from the Informed, the first one of this team of the week. We have got the newly informed Higuain coming up next. So today we are looking at the Chelsea informed striker Higuain. He's looking at 89 rated with 74 pace, 89 shooting, 71 passing, 85 dribbling and 75 physical. So looking at the price at the minute, at this moment in time, is costing you around about 170 on the Xbox, 150 on the PlayStation. Comparing to the one to watch that he's got that now is a Chelsea version, he is 205 on the Xbox and 187 on the PlayStation. And his normal rated card, in fact, for Chelsea is going for 130 on the Xbox as well, which obviously being a new card and fits in well with some SBCs, that is probably right about on the money. So basic information on Higuain. He is obviously a newly transferred from AC Milan to Chelsea, Argentinian striker. He's got 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. He is right foot, and he is 6'1", and he's got medium defensive work rate, high attacking work rate. So in-game stats, the total is 2,041, so we already know that isn't the greatest in-game stats that we've seen, but we'll move on and see what the stats are like, what's the good areas, what's the bad areas. So we'll start with some of the good areas, the shooting on him. He has got 89 shooting overall, which gives him 94 finishing and positioning. He also has 92 volleys, 87 shot power, and 81 long shots. So this guy, realistically for me, was designed to just shoot straight on. I don't need no fancy flicks, no nothing like that. He is an out-and-out striker, and his shots are incredible. In the match that you're going to see, I believe he scored 4. And this was his debut match. I played a few more with him, and I think he scored overall around about 8 in 3. So overall, I was pretty happy. But this first match was where I really, really liked this card, especially for how much he is. Still shy of the 200k mark, and obviously for his one to watch his 200k as well. I thought that was quite good. But we'll go into the dribbling. So looking at some of the good sides of it, we've got 88 reactions, 87 ball control, 86 dribbling, and 88 composure. Also, he only has 76 agility with 70 balance, and that's about right for me. He's very aware on the ball, very composed, like it does say. I do think that is very true. But the agility side of it, and I think, again, this is very true. He's not very nimble because the fact that he is 6'1", and more than likely he is to a striker that you put into the feet and then play off him, or either or he turns and shoots. He's not one that's going to go blasting through the defence, going left and right through everyone. He's more your typical, I'll pass it you, whack it on, and there you go. Or, obviously, put it to his feet, have a little shimmy, and then turn and shoot. That is personally what this card is. I'd never expect him with the 74 pace that he's got. It does give him 74 on both stats. I wouldn't expect him to be the fastest player on the game, and to be honest, I don't need him to be. And if you've got someone who is fast, you got the Aubameyang, who really is a bad example, but you got your, trying to think of small strikers, it's very much like Messi. You've got Junior, you've got Hazard. They're not your typical strong players, but they can weave in and out, and that is who would link well, in my opinion. So if you've got Hazard, especially, I believe he did get an inform that's a centre-forward role. If you put him up front with him, I think it would play quite well. Obviously, I've not played with them together, but that is what I envision this card being able to play with. Then we've got some decent stats in 82 heading accuracy, 80 jumping, and 86 strength. He does only have 70 stamina, and I do see a lot of the time that people do say that strikers necessarily don't need a huge amount of stamina, and to be honest, I could see their point with this one. If you play with 2 strikers up front, I think they do share out that kind of running for the ball, and I think it does matter on who you're passing the ball to. If you've got, like me, got Ronaldo up front, you kind of constantly passing him the ball because you know he's the game changer, whereas then Higuain gets left out a little bit and will pick up the bits and pieces. So I kind of see people's point with the 70 stamina, and to be honest, especially in this very first match, I did notice that he still had fitness at the end, even though that is, in my standard, considerably lower than what I expect. But I think he obviously won't do all the 90, and I don't think he will go lone striker for me. Personally, I wouldn't put a striker like that on its own anyway. I don't I don't have that passing element about it. And I think if you're a very good passer, he probably could work on his own. But for me, that is not where I'd put him. I'd like to have a partnered striker with him. So overall, I'm giving him an 8.7. I thought the card was fantastic. It was very enjoyable to play with. Obviously, some of the stats let him down. Obviously, the pace isn't quite up to standards with a lot of things. The physicality of him, I thought he was quite strong, but I felt like sometimes he did manage to lose the ball easier than what I expect. I think he is a very strong player, but he did lose the ball a couple of times where I expected him really to be able to shield it and knock it on. So that is my opinion on that. Dribbling wise was very decent when it comes to just having the ball, being composed, being able to make that pass, being able to make that shot. Shooting is fantastic. I think that is obviously his best element of this card. His shooting was absolutely unreal. And also something I didn't mention actually, his heading was incredible as well. Standing at 6'1" with only heading accuracy at 82 and 80 jumping, I thought he was definitely, that was a real killer element for me. And I believe he scores 2 headers in this as well. So very, very impressed with this card. I didn't expect too much from it, and it definitely delivered. So let me know down below, have you used any of his versions? Have you got his one to watch that you've managed to make bank on? Do you have his newly transferred version, or do you play with his AC Milan version? Let me know down below. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next time. Peace.